named Somsa Sinikin, born Bangkok, Thailand, raised here, California, mostly Stockton and Central Valley area. Earliest memories in Stockton. Going to what used to be the big thing back then was Newberry with my parents, which was in downtown Stockton, which has been completely renovated now. So still see the sign. I think it's vacant right now. It was like, I guess, before they had malls. It was a big giant department store like JC Penney. That was the big like department store back then. That was in downtown. But we didn't know that we were the highest crime rate city in California or even the whole United States. We just thought it was regular. My parents kept us away from a lot of it, even though we did see a lot of it at school or just being in the area that we lived in. But us not being in a big city kind of area before, not knowing how it was, so we kind of assumed the crime came with it and just kind of knew what areas to stay away from, what areas they were safe at. As kids, all you see is just adventure and fun, and you kind of see it through those lens. Then you don't really perceive too many things to be too dangerous. And you always thought, yeah, for the most part, I could run away from it, but we knew what was bad, what was wrong. You know that already, but you try to stay away from those type of people and those type of actions, and always just try to be positive too. I always think that's a big part of it, is that if you want to look at your situation as being bad, then you're also going to think everything's bad. But if you don't know, and if you're brought up in a good household where your parents try to make you be more hopeful about your future, then you don't perceive everything to be as bad as it was. I mean, as an adult now, I look back at it, yeah, we grew up poor, we grew up pretty bad, but when I was growing up in it, I didn't see that at all. I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like I was poor. I didn't feel like I was in a bad area. Even though now I wouldn't walk down those streets. When I came over, I was pretty young, so I can't remember much back then. Because when I came over, I was barely a year old. I mean, for most of my life, I remember growing up in California. And when I was growing up, we moved all up and down the Central Valley. So we lived in Modesto at one point, Stockton, and Sacramento, and all the surrounding cities wherever rent was affordable back then. So mostly in Stockton because rent was the cheapest at the time, and a big part of our family, cousins, Laos community was in Stockton. So my parents wanted to stay near that. Again, I don't think they really thought of it as being super dangerous, not knowing, even though it's not that my parents never ran into any of that. As I grew up, I came to find out that my dad got mugged a whole bunch of times. It was just, I don't know if it was his Christian belief or his background in the Asian community, just thinking karma will come around, it'll take care of itself, whatever. But he never seemed to let it get him too down. When it all comes down to it, I believe that it's a mindset. People that believe in the city, love the city, respect the city, know the city, they're gonna want to try to make it the best city possible, because nobody wants to be known as, the crime city of the whole freaking United States or the crime city of California, stuff like that. And that's not something to be bragging about. I know, people that want to do gangster rap and stuff like that think it's hardcore to rep your city when it's known for that. But for the most part, when you become an actual adult and you have a family you own, nobody wants to raise their family in that kind of situation. Everybody wants to try to better themselves, better their kids' future. You just gotta have the right mindset. Just get out of that mindset of, hey, this is a trashy city, we're just gonna keep trashy. Whereas they could think, hey, there's a great potential here, we should raise it up and make it more prosperous, make it more livable for everybody that wants to come here and live and do better for themselves and their family. Over the decades that I've lived in the city and seen the changes and been away from it and then haven't come back, I've noticed, I think, a lot of positive changes. I see a lot of new buildings and a lot of renovations, a lot of things that can help the city grow and be better. And for the most part, I think it is. It'll be nice to know that 10 years, 20 years from now, Stockton will be looked at in a better light.